Game number 1, best of 3 series in the round robin, everybody. We got Team Agumi against Team Gachi. Over on the left side in our best of 3 here at the Sisters Call Cup, we got Agumi on Malfurion. We have Balsa on Medivh. Gonna check out his baseline stacks. Now quickly he can stack that. Bipshik is playing Sonya. We got Warnick on Merlin. Itrax on Alarak. And then over on the right side, Team Gachi with Balor on Suljin. Gachi himself on Mei with a heat transfer. We got Palinka on Oriel. Atanis gets played by Hammerin. And we have Gamer Boy on Li Ming. This is a Polish tournament, as I already mentioned. It's hosted by the Polish community, by Richu. He's organizing this entire thing, and pretty much all of the players in this tournament are from Poland. So it's essentially the Polish version of META Madness that we currently have here. And as typical META Madness rules go, we have, in this case, pre-bans, and then obviously the standard rule for META Madness where every single hero can only be played once within this series. So, as it stands here right now, that means that 25 heroes are actually banned, so they are pre-banned before the tournament even starts. So, no heroes on that. Those heroes you can't play at all. The link is, by the way, in the description of the video if you're watching this on YouTube. So you can check all of the pre-bans out right there. And Merlin just go for like a mini-hop. Yeah, so the pre-ban heroes are listed in the description. Make sure that you like the video. If you jump in there, would be appreciated. Helps to promote the video a bit. And in this case, also a little bit... Oh, careful. Well, they're starting to slowly make their play at the bot lane, but with these portal moves that we're now getting every now and then and time again, it starts to also get a little bit dicey, because as you have Medivh against you, you need to be really careful with your positioning. That portal could pop out right next to you and all of a sudden you're getting attacked right then and there. But as we're talking about the tournament, the organization, also a big shout out to one of the main sponsors that we actually have here right now. Nivicia has contributed a lot to the prize pool. So as far as I know, it's 1,500 in prizes. There's trophies, figurines, custom courses, puzzles, all kinds of stuff. To my knowledge, it's not cash prizes. But yeah, big shout out to Nivicia. She's actually also the one that the tournament is basically named after. She loves to play Sylvanas and Tyrande, and this is where the name Sisters Call Cup stems from. The question was asked a couple of times in the past, and mentioned in a few videos, but if this is one of the first ones that you watch, you might not have heard that yet. Now we have 12 stacks for Medivh, so that bottom battle is still ongoing, with nobody really able to get a kill yet. But of course, there's always one attempt after another to get that first blood and to potentially take a tower or a gate down. But we have level 4 now in. Objective is going to get announced in 5 seconds. On top of that, we're looking at, finally teams making plays for their shamans. And that also includes our boy Suljin, who is working on U1 DAX. So it's not only Medivh that we're talking about baseline, we have Alarak, we have Suljin, so we have a fair amount of heroes that really could scale extremely well into the later stages of the game. And we'll see which team is able to pull it off here. 6 teams in this round robin, by the way. All of them advancing to the playoffs, but it's all about positioning for the top teams in particular, because it means that they are skipping one round. And this, I mean, again, was a pretty nice warm-up also for the best of 5 matches that we're eventually going to get in the playoff stage, because as you can imagine, if you already have pre-bans and then on top of that heroes can only be played once, that makes a difference in game 4 or 5, even in game 3 already. But they're making a move for Mei, and she is dead. That is first blood right there. A little bit of a nice trick. Doesn't fall down, but actually hovers. I always knew that Medivh was cheating, because Blizzard is openly telling us about it on his level 20. But that Mei was cheating and has some anti-gravity ability, I was not aware of that. But it explains so many things. Now, Medivh is doing well. 22 stacks. 5 for Suljin. Halftime show victory, more or less imminent. Blue team is doing a little bit better now that they have Sonya on the Immortal, but of course with all of that aggression that we saw earlier, Team Gachi still takes the halftime show. But Sonya has worked the Immortal down, so they can still technically win the objective itself. And they're starting to push for it. First for defense, But they have to send somebody over to the left side. They want to get a kill first from the looks of it. Here comes the portal. And the backline is in real trouble. Not only Suljin, but he's the first one to fall. Also Oriel and now Mei are in trouble. Mei falls. 3 kills to 0 overall for them. And that, of course, helps Anubarak too, because he is stacking more and more of his sadism. Sitting at 130 now. So, job well done here. Now, top of that, we have Anubarak down at the bottom of the map. Atanis. There's so many StarCraft heroes lately. Yeah. All of them starting, not all of them, but 2 of them starting with an A. Anubarak, Atanis. Arena, Atticus. Alright, I'll see myself out. Those are just bad. But yeah, they get the objective. As already kind of anticipated and talked about before, the objective goes to the blue team. And with the lead in kills, they are starting to at least pressure top side slightly. So far, things are looking pretty alright. If they can take the wall out, maybe half the HP of the fort, that would be pretty significant. And they, of course, also have to watch out on the heroes that are stacking. For example, Anubarak is starting to get more and more sadism together, and he can really become that late game monster if he continues that process. Medivh will feel so much safer once that he's done with his baseline and sits at 40 stacks. He's 7 short of that, but they're portaling in again. Anubarak in particular is trying to get into range, but it also forces the red team back, but they've done a pretty alright job defending here. So the wall was inevitable that they would lose it, but they are also now capable of pushing the Immortal back before it does too much damage on the fort. They will, on the other hand, maybe lose some heroes here. This could get tricky. Quest is completed for Medivh. Good for him. Does he have the cooldown for another portal? Do they want to engage here even? And it seems like no, but there's the Stormbolt. Some real good connects on Mei. She's not dead, but she is eating tons of damage here. And there's an enormous amount of pressure now on the red team. So, Team Megumi is doing alright. They are going for the next camp, and they are a little bit ahead in XP. But, as I said, this is not forcing anything. The structures that they have been starting to damage, that's a bit more important. Sonya still going full Super Saiyan down at the bottom of the map. And with Medivh now saying hello too, they could potentially play around the camp a little bit. And might. All you have to do is buy some time, because we already have Anubarak pushing in and the portal is being set up. And yeah, even if it's just a bit of a bait initially, Team Gachi has absolutely zero interest of now being ganged up upon. So the camp is taken by Team Megumi. It was a nice little move. There was indeed somebody rotating from the top lane, but Medivh throwing that portal out a little bit early already indicated to the red team, hey, they're coming, they might be closer than we think, so we probably shouldn't fight this one out. If it was a really fast fight, I think they might have been able to get something done there. But there's also the early level 10 for Team Megumi that you don't want to face off against. We have Deadly Strike and Leap plus Leyline now for Team Megumi. And that should help them with the position that they have very early on in the game here to go for the halftime show victory at a minimum. Snowball, they get the Avalanche. Yeah, and also Tazdingo for Suljin. Yeah, Stormbolt, Leyline, but it only connects with one. We have that Polar Brood. Leap, as Sonya goes in deep. Aegis. So far, the red team is doing a great job defending and not dying. They lost the halftime show though, so not dying, while it is a great start, is not the end-all be-all. You also need to at some point start to kill your opponent. And they're falling a bit short there. They haven't gotten a single kill yet. A few close calls though. Sonya, for example, is quite low. But now that they finally pushed them back, they can do some immortal damage themselves. And actually not too bad. I mean, Suljin in particular is just absolutely crushing it here. So they're taking this down very heavily. Good for them. Team Gachi. Strong plays here on the objective. Really putting the damage numbers in. Not only because of Suljin, who is also doing a good job, but the long-term poke, long distance poke that we get from Li Ming. Still in Calamity with all of this. On the sheer numbers, we have 22,000 for Li Ming. And Medivh at 18,000. So Medivh actually is the top damage dealer on the blue team side. Sonya still slamming this out, but they're going to lose this one. This one goes to Team Gachi. They're going to get it eventually, and there it is. So, well done. I like it. Can I get a kill? Oh, that would have been the dream. Unfortunately for them, Warnick is able to, or is he able to get away? The team had no faith in Mei. Look at this. Gachi, it's his own team, and his teammates just had no faith here. They were like, yeah, sorry, Gachi. You're a little bit, you're not cutting it. So now Muradin actually gets out. I think they had a great shot here to take him apart. Instead, they're going for Itrax, and instead of 117 sadism, he now is down to 100 again. So that was also a pretty important kill. Good for Team Gachi. Not only are they able to grab themselves an objective, they are also getting a kill with it. And while Sonya is pushing at the bottom of the map, now met by Atanis, this is still a real nice opportunity at the top. Pop some ults, get some kills, and try and take that fort out potentially. And with the help of the Immortal, they grab it. The fort is gone. So, good things. Good things are happening here for Team Gachi. The red team with the lead in structures. Finally, the one kill. One kill is all that they got. It's a single kill, and that was actually after the objective was taken. Li Ming still with top damage. 31,000 for her right now. So, good damage for Li Ming. Another push down towards the bottom of the map as they're going for the next objective here. When it comes to just sheer experience, Mercenary Camp lead for Team Megumi, and a pretty significant one at that. They are 1,000 ahead on that count, so that's great. Ahead in hero XP, but it is still dead even overall, simply because we have that increased passive experience for Team Gachi, and more importantly, the minion experience. So when it comes to just grabbing the lane minions, Team Gachi has just been doing better. But it is very even now on the XP and level in the game. It's actually the red team that is slightly ahead. So for now we get level 13 talents, for them just a tad faster. With Ensnare. Mei, the Stormbolt, and there's Aegis, and the Leyline. Yeah, they are really attempting to team up now. And Mei is still in trouble, but it is Alarak that dies. Alarak gets Alaraked, and Malfurion is a close second. There is momentum now. Team Gachi. Yeah. They're actually doing alright here. Look at this, another kill. Medivh is gone, and that bottom fort is heavily assaulted. Medivh is dead. Now, obviously, he completed his quest earlier, so it's great for him. But we have another fort eliminated, and that's all without an objective. And with several heroes now still dead on the side of their opponents, Team Gachi can not only steal that camp away, but they should also be able to get themselves ahead on the next Immortal that is spawning here. Which is pretty impactful, considering that that would walk straight towards the keeps. So, we are now 12 minutes into the game. And after a pretty solid start for Team Megumi, where they got 3 kills to 0 and the first Immortal, they're now starting to be in rough shape. So, still in range, in reach of the red team, when we're talking experience in particular, but the halftime show has now been lost, and they have to readjust to this. Muradin will be looking for jumps, Stormbolt setups, and then to hope for kills, and also follow-ups from heroes like Sonya, for example, who needs to be able to do a lot. But, yeah, we have Suljin, for example, dishing out damage at this point. 31,000 for him. That single target damage is pretty alright. And he will attempt to get his quest rewards here too. A nice little whip from our girl Oriel. Crash Tan is in trouble. Big damage again from Suljin. Those auto attacks are hitting hard. That single target damage is a problem for the frontliners. So now they go for the Immortal, and if you at this point as the blue team go for the Immortal, you have essentially given up on the objective. You are basically accepting that you're not going to win it, and that's a massive shield. But Atanis and Suljin are both dead, and now Mei dies. Okay, even with a counter kill on Atanis, on Alarak, I'm doing this again over and over, right? Like Atanis and Alarak, I keep mixing them up in these fights, and I don't even know why. Sometimes it's just really fully ingrained in my head. It's like the second time that it happens. I'm just like, what on earth? But yeah, so massive amount of kills that the blue team now gets. And that shuts the entire place down that we could have expected from Team Gachi. I mean, again, look at how much shield that Immortal still has. That thing was an absolute monster. But it didn't matter. They lost too many heroes just after they got it. And now it's an easy defense for Team Megumi. So, huge setback here for the ambitions of Team Gachi. Let Li Ming poke a little bit, but in XP, it's very even for the two teams now. Anubarak is essentially the one getting farmed on the blue team side. But yeah, this is a bit rough. Still, even with the defense and with nobody else pushing, that keep took some damage. Not a noticeable amount really, but hey, every little bit of damage matters as a game like this continues. And we're still on the first map, so this is kind of setting the pace and the tone of the entire series a bit. 160 now, no mercy. We have also Mirror Ball, and we get the Titan Killer. Yeah. I mean, you really need to get the damage in here right now. So, we'll see how much you can do against someone like Muradin. First of all, we had a bit of a swap, and Snare, nice! That's a perfect opportunity to get some kills in. Some damage in at least. But there were a few heroes still absent. Amongst them are Tannis. And now Mei is dead. The blue team, I gotta say, their last couple of fights, they're doing way better. Aegis tees up the kill. Was nicely done. Sonya just accepts that as their bullseye, as her bullseye for Leap. Jumps in and takes down Malf. So that's 2 heroes gone. Quest reward at least for Suljin. So we have him with a range increase, which is quite nice. But this is still problematic. They're down 2 heroes. Suljin is gone. That's a problem with playing Aegis against Sonya with Leap. You essentially show exactly when to go, how to go do it, and if there is follow-up and they control the fight, then they can execute that, which is what they did here. Sonya has now moved towards the top to deal with the situation there. They're still poking at the bottom of the map. And as a reminder, no matter how those last few fights went, we still have a situation in which Team Agumi has not taken a single fort out. So they are still very much so behind in structures. They've taken the experience lead, that's true. But they have a long way to go when we're talking about structures on the map. 126 stacks for Tannis. Anubarak! Oh my god, like today they're probably brothers. There's something maybe I'm up to maybe I'm onto something here. Maybe I discovered a real secret. But yeah, Tannis is the one that now gets attacked and killed. Whereas Anubarak still has opportunities to do the killing, and he basically did. That was a kill steal by Sonya, but it is Anubarak with 150 sadism that is now absolutely running the show here. They're trying to get another kill in, and they are missing out on it. No, they're not. They take the kill on Oriel, and they even get the 5-man team wipe. Mei is gone too. And that's that. Anubarak is now at 47,000 damage. He's the one that surpassed Medivh. Sonya is still dealing with camp clear. That's also clearly shown in her siege damage. And then we have the top damage dealer of the game with Li Ming. But that's 100% on the shield. Nothing that can be done about it. So most of this game was honestly Team Gachi doing extremely well in team fights and then also starting to take the objective more and more. But the last couple of battles, Team Agumi has been absolutely murdering them. So this is starting to become a massive concern. It's not 100% on the shield, with at least a few of the guys coming back and starting immediately to do damage. Tannis and Li Ming at the forefront here, but of course also Suljin. But now you have a 50% shield, less than 50, which I'm actually pretty impressed by. I gotta say, I did not think that Team Gachi would be able to do so well on the Immortal with the remaining time that they had, that they would now be in a spot there where it's fairly straightforward to remove that shield and try to save your lane. You're gonna lose the fort, but you might just be able to save that keep, and that was the big question mark earlier. 20 is another problem. That's a 2-level gap. Definitely too much. And, well, here we go. So, with that said, let's have a look. Trying to go for 20 also cost them just too much on the Immortal shield. They could have done both, but the Immortal should have had priority. So, now they have that 20, but the Immortal is much, much weaker. Definitely could have delayed this a little bit differently, but as it stands, it's still a very powerful push. I mean, again, the fort was a foregone conclusion. The wall has fallen too. Leyline gets YOLO'd out again. Artanis is obviously not here yet, so they might not be able to get the keep, but they can certainly do a lot of damage to it, and that drops it down to 50%. So, yeah. It's still an entire level for the team in red to get so that they can counter push. But we also have that damage that is coming from, let's say, Suljin. 58,000 isn't bad, and while Li Ming is getting a lot of poke out from a distance, his is really true single target damage mostly that he's able to connect time and time again. So as he keeps progressing with his baseline quest, they are becoming more and more of a threat to Alarak and also to Muradin. But of course, there's on top of that the problem that Alarak has a lot of Season stacks. I mean, there's not even a real range damage dealer on the side of Team Megumi. They're playing this triple front line with Medivh, so Medivh is the main damage. Sonya misses a jump, another leap. Medivh is gone, so is Suljin though. And Alarak is still there. Alarak is still the main damage dealer for them. Their triple front line is so far working. And look at Alarak with 160, 71 stacks now. So he is crushing it here. He's absolutely crushing it. It would be amazing for Team Gachi to drop Alarak, but it's just not happening. Instead, he's the one who does execute a combo after another, drops Trash Tannis again, and now, yes, Malfurion is lost, but it's a 2 versus 2 on the map, and I would bet in favor of Alarak currently any day of the week with it. With the keep at the top already taking damage, Sonya is saying hello, Li Ming is moving in the catapults, are soon gonna shoot once again. Absolute disaster here. No driving skills whatsoever. Could have taken that keep out with ease. Alarak is now moving in and is saying like, alright, we're gonna try and take this. Quick hit, and that's a kill. So, a little bit of B-stepping too, but they should take this out, guys. What are you doing? Are you kidding me? Hit it once. There was nobody alive. It was Li Ming, only Li Ming, and you can't hit the keep even one time. What? I mean, they're just triggering my non-existent OCD at this point. What on earth? Immortal is like all good and well, but come on, guys, like hit that thing one time. So now we got 20 versus 20 with Amani Resilience. We got the Shield of Hope. And I just want the blue team to lose right now. If you're not going for an easy keep like this one, then you don't deserve to hit that one. If you don't honor the penny, you know, like, I mean, what the hell has happened there? So they are ahead on the halftime show, but it is time for the red team to clearly show them how you have to play this one out. But not 18 kills to 8. Alarak with 178 now. Ooh, another jump from Sonya. Big swap, by the way, on Medivh. And Medivh is gone. And guess what? The targets for Team Megumi, they made it out. That is the curse right there. That's because he didn't take the keep. Remember that. Remember that when you lose this series. This is the moment where you lost it. The cockiness, the sass, the arrogance of not going for the keep that was right there in front of you. Muradin snowballed into a corner. In comes Li Ming. Yeah, they want that kill, and they're gonna have to hunt him down if they want to have a chance. With Medivh now saying hello, it's just not happening. So, seems like maybe it's an immortal for Team Gachi after all. Yeah, and look what's pushing. The top lane is getting pushed. And why? I wonder why. I really wonder why. But, alright, it is what it is. So, the Immortal is indeed taken by the red team. I have to give them some credit here. Team Gachi was so far behind. It's like, I mean, several levels. And then also the kills. And they get the objective. Kudos. Not bad. Now, this is by no means a decided game. You can still defend this. And more importantly, we have, of course, also Alarak as an absolute killer right now. If he gets good combos off, they can do a lot. And he's already sitting here at the side. Atrax is waiting for that chance. Leyline. Here comes the charge. And the insta-play for Suljin. Suljin gets his ult out. And now it's time to get those hit points back. Ult is out. Who takes it? Once again, we have Maiev just chipping in with one Arcane Rift after another, and Zul'jin dies. Anubarak takes Zul'jin down, is now at 180 sadism, and is just spiking his damage. The core gets attacked, so that push is not over yet. Core will take damage, that's for sure. 113,000 damage for Li Ming, by the way. So she's still trying. They're starting to poke this. The keep is low. Can they end the game? 70%, 60%, 50%. We're getting there. And at 50, the push is over. 43% in the end. The core is essentially now in backdoor territory. So big opportunities for Team Gachi to take this one out. As long as they get away here, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Anubarak. Ooh, the portal. Yep, the whip into the wall, and the kill on Malfurion. Oh my. That one was nasty. That escalated quickly. Malfurion down, Li Ming down, Mei down, Auriel out, and that is a 5-man team wipe. Everybody is gone. Big hits. The keep destroyed, finally. And now the play for the core. I mean, Zul'jin is back. Zul'jin is here, and he's going to try his best. Has tons of damage here, obviously. There's also a catapult. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, he doesn't have anything anymore. 89,000 damage from Anubarak. That's that. That's game. Unfortunate for Team Gachi. They got close. They got close, and then their wings got clipped, and they dropped back to the ground. So that is game. That's a lead for Team Megumi as they win Battlefield of Eternity, our first map in the best of 3 series here at the group stage of the Sisters Call Cup. GG. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before we continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Game number 2, Team Megumi has taken the lead in the best of 3 series. We have over on the left side, Agumi himself on Rega. We got Warnick on ETC, Bipshik on Zul. We got Itrax on Orphea, and then Balsa on Cassia. Over on the right side, we got Team Gachi, contesting for the victory on map number 2 to force the final map of the series. With Valla on Sylvanas, we got Gachi on Tyrael, Polinka on Alexstrasza, Hammerin is playing Leoric, and Gamerboy on Kel'Thas. So, let's get this show on the road. For Tyrael, we actually get Ardent Restoration as the level 1 talent, and we have a lot of globe stuff again, because Alexstrasza is present with Circle of Life, so they're hoping to get her done with that very quickly. And then we'll have just more and more globes for Tyrael, for Kel'Thas, and if the two of them are then able to just get that out and get high up there, you have more survivability, and of course in the late game you can really start scaling quite nicely on this, so they're going to try that. But all the way up at the top, we're now looking at a little bit more action, especially of course in our 1 versus 1 scenario between Leoric and Bipshik that is playing that out. Down at the bottom of the map in the meantime, Itrax, after his great performance that we had a second ago on Anubarak, now with Orphea. Coffin Girl is back to business on this. Now, as it stands, over in the middle, the rotation of the format, it's all about getting globes for both of the teams right now. Well, not quite so. There's no globe talents on the blue team, but obviously they are hoping to deny a lot to the opponent, to Team Gachi. For the red team, a rotation between the middle and the bot lane is a bit more important. The more they can grab here, the better. The sooner they have Alexstrasza completely fed and the quest completed, the sooner they can start to just scale both Tyrael and Kel'Thas more into the late game. So it will help them, especially in those later objectives. But for now, there's also the quest to go for a few additional mercenary camps, and that's what they're currently aiming for. So we're grabbing those two. We have a bit more action done over on the left side, and with the blue team locking on their own after they already took the neutral camp at the bottom of the map. They are gonna do fairly okay here. So, top side, we get, for the time being, Bipshik just sliding this one out, just pushing this back. Easy wave clear, of course, for Zul. Eventually, he's going to be the one that rotates between some of the lanes as we have the focus on the objective from the rest of the team. Level 4 kicks in. And Team Gachi, again, after the last map, they have to find a little bit of an angle of what they can exactly do here and how they can play this one out. We already have Unstable Poison as a level 4 talent. 6 stacks on all the globe talents. It's just, it's actually Kel'Thas that snuck a little bit ahead here. He gobbled up an extra globe somewhere. By now we got Netherwind. And I personally like Kel'Thas. I've been talking about this in the past. I think Kel'Thas is actually a really fun addition. Or was a fun addition to the game in general. And I was always sad when he fell off in the meta because there was so much mobility creep coming into the game. I think any kind of damage dealer that has a nice CC where he can go for combos with a tank or someone else is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun and it's quite nice when you have that. So we'll see if maybe a bit more of that is going to play out as things continue. With especially this tournament format, of course, where all of a sudden you can play heroes again that normally wouldn't be part of the meta because you just can't play them properly without them being immediately countered and then targeted the entire time. But I still remember when we had the Heroes of the Dorm, there was a team in Heroes of the Dorm in the... Actually, I feel it was in the later stage of the event, but I was casting that in the US, where a team just put together such a beautiful draft around ETC and Kel'Thas that you could see right from the draft that the game was already over. And they executed it to perfection and were then able to win the game. So Kel'Thas has a bit of a special spot in my heart when it comes to it. There were obviously the good old times too where he was completely overtuned and they had to change him. So people that were in the game from the beginning, they probably have a lot of those fond memories right there. And, well, Gachi, he's not going to have any fond memories of this particular fight because as they're fighting for the Frozen Punisher, he goes down. Quickly eliminated here and gets taken apart. And the Alpha and also in the Beta, there were some fun bugs too. The best bug ever was, again, if you haven't played back then, this is no joke, there was a bug that literally eliminated heroes from the game, from a game that you played. If you cocooned a target with Anubarak, and then you dropped a maw from Zagara onto the cocooned target, after the duration of the maw and the cocoon was over, the hero was just simply gone. The player of the hero just had a spot on the map that they couldn't move away from, and the hero was gone. You were eliminated from the game. And people abused that back then until it was hotfixed all day, every day by just playing those two characters together. And after the first team fight, after level 10, you were down to 4 heroes. After the second team fight, you had 3 heroes on the map, and you can guess how that game went. But that was probably the biggest bug that the game ever had. There was another one around shielding minions with Tacita back in the old days, where you could create invulnerable minions, which was also pretty heavy. But that Anubarak and Zagara bug was the biggest one from my personal experience, where I was just like, how? What the hell? And it was wild. It was really, really wild. Thankfully, these days, while the game might not be bug-free, we don't have to contend with any of those. We have, in the game at hand, 1 kill only. Not more than that. A little bit of a battle at the top with Itrax going up against Valla. And down at the bottom of the map here, more attacks. Gamer Boy sitting tight right now, and well, they're starting to take the next camp here. So, half a level of a lead for Team Megumi. They have the lead in the series. On top of that, of course, too. So if they win here, they take it. Alexstrasza is done with her quest and has been for a little bit, which means that she can now provide free globes for Kel'Thas, who has thankfully, to that reason, also completed his level 1 quest. So that's quite nice. It gives him a little bit more survivability as the team in blue now gets their heroic abilities. And so that's a really nice tool to have, and it's going to contribute more and more mana points to him, bigger shield, and of course for Tyrael it's also quite neat if he gets extra globes, just means that he is going to be in a spot where he will have extra regeneration as well. Not if he does move out of range though, because in this particular case he actually did get nothing. But while there is a bit of a trap, is he falling for it? It's a trap, and there's the party! Dance, baby, dance! Yeah, but don't think Tyrael was too impressed. Well, maybe now he's impressed. Tyrael is about to go down. I thought maybe they can get a counter kill on ETC, but not so much. So, yep, he went for the face check and then got immediately murdered. So, Tyrael is gone. Bye-bye. And that brings us now to 2 kills to 0 in this game. All the way at the top, our solo lane. We got still a couple of drains happening from Bipshik. Down to the bottom of the map. Yeah, Megumi, balls are moving in. Warnock is also there. So everybody is still trying to take a couple of walls down, poke a bit apart against the forts. We have no stacking for Cassia. Or she would probably try and get some additional stacks in a situation like this as well. But more action at the top, and it is the end of Leorki. So he's activating his trade. Kalthas is there to immediately take over and grab the experience. For a second it looked like he disconnected or something. But okay, he's back. Now, we got over on the left side a little bit more chomping going on for Itrax. And yep, they are quickly taking that camp. Kalthas is attempting to do the same thing over on the right side. Yeah. And I mean, to be honest with you, this should be an easy one for the blue team. They're close to 13. They will have a talent advantage if they just move down to the bottom of the map onto the bot lane, take that wave, and maybe also take a few minions out in the middle. But they are initially claiming a lead on the objective, and should with a level 13 talent have a pretty significant advantage if the red team really decides to fight here. So they can play this a bit slower, wait for the next minion wave, but just move towards the middle, which is exactly what Zul is now doing. Delay that fight here, but here comes the Force through the Gravity Labs. Ancestral is out. 13, not ready. Judgment used, and Zul is still missing. It's a 5 versus 4. No, it's a 4 versus 4. Leo is also at the top. So they're still fighting this out. Zul is coming back in. Leo is not with them. This should be an easy claim for Team Megumi, and they grab the objective. It's 38 already. Even with the Dragon Queen popped by Alexstrasza, there's no way for Team Gachi to take this. So they have to be super cautious now. The defense will likely fail for them. As long as they can pin them down... Well, Zul is already rotating top because there is a camp here. So that could have done damage to the fort. But it's a 4 versus 4 battle at the bottom of the map, and Leoric could move down, help the team out a little bit. But I do not think... No matter what they do, they're going to lose the fort. So, yeah, the fort gets destroyed and is eliminated. And on top of it, they can... try and make the next play for the wall. Drop that wall. Maybe even move past it. I mean, as long as you take the gate down or at least one of the side walls and give yourself a bit of vision, that's already nice. We have 13 talents now on both sides. Blue team doesn't really want to overstep too hard, but at least one of the towers is taken out. And that's then the end of the Punisher. Top side, Leoric is coming through. We got still a level lead for Team Agumi. We have over in the middle now, the next move being made here by the blue team. Well, actually, no, they're moving. I thought they were moving for the camp in the middle, but they prioritized the one at the bot lane first. Orphea was the only one that was trying to move to the lane to make sure that she gets the experience there. But now they are a little bit split, and the red team is trying to invade their camp. This might backfire on them, but I don't think that... No. The blue team doesn't really force it. Already a chomping. Judgment. Where's that slide? ETC could go for a mosh. And does. Gets the Ancestral in time. And big damage. Even the Poison Nova. ETC falls. And insanely enough, nobody on the red team dies. That's honestly a bit incredible. That fight was wild. ETC gets the mosh through. Rhaegar drops the Ancestral. And they are still not able to kill anybody. I could have sworn that we would at least see one kill from Orphea moving in and starting to take him on. But Alexstrasza kept them all alive, had Lifebinder activated, had a circle on the ground, and now we have more and more heroes falling for Team Megumi as Team Gachi is trying to take the map and force game number 3. 29 stacks for Teriel. We got 42 for Kalthas. So, job well done. Nice. Very nicely done. I like it. So, good little move over here. And by now, we have 16 talents kicking in for Gachi. So, they have actually taken the lead in experience. They've lost the fort already. They did, at the beginning, not really all that great on kills. But things are looking a bit better on this now. So, right now, we got Zul pushing up at the top. In the middle, another little play is being made by ETC as he quickly moved in, hoping to maybe get something done, set the team up for a kill or so. But Alexstrasza was ready, got the circle on the ground, and they decided to fall back. The teams have both now level 16 talents. That gives us, amongst other things, also the overprotective. So, yeah, going full in on our circles here. But, well, also coming through with that channel and with that shield. Here comes Judgment again. Judgment is in. Big damage from Orphea. Big damage from Orphea. Damn, that ult got value. It still gets value. What the hell? Leo, he's kept it alive for quite some time. Sylvanas is jumping in, trying to get out. There's the slide, and ETC dies again. Can they get the follow-up kill? It doesn't seem like it. Alexstrasza is working miracles here. And now we have more damage over time attributed. Seems like Balsa with Cassia is still able to get out. That's actually impressive. And they're turning on Tyrael, who is dead. Tyrael goes down. Tyrael is down, and Sylvanas gets clapped by Orphea. Cassia dies too. It's a 2-for-2 trade between the teams, but damn, it's getting chaotic over here. 35,000 damage for Kel'Thas. We got 41,000 for Orphea. 5 kills to 5. And with the objective being up, they're now starting to make the plays right there. So, another couple of hits are coming. And yeah, off we go. There's a quick move onto the ground with the root on Malfurion. They're trying to get the ult of Orphea going and do for a long time. It's Zul that tries to move past him. Lifebinder used. Alexstrasza with the Dragon Queen. It's a 3 versus 3, but now the rest of the team that has respawned is starting to move back into the fight. Very even points on the objective too. 50,000 damage for Orphea now. But the blue team taking a bit of early control, and the Dragon Queen is gone. But we have the attack with Judgment on Rhaegar, and Rhaegar is dead. The bombs are being spread. Cassia's coming in. There's the ult from ETC attempting to stop them. The blue team still ahead on the objective, but now they're losing Zul, and therefore the ground, and I think they're going to lose out on the Punisher. 7 kills to 5, 13 minutes in. Cassia falls. Warnick is on the move back out. And yep, off we go. So, Atrax, big hit here against him as well, but Kel'Thas is able to survive. All the way up at the top, we got Hammerin saving the fort, but that was big for the red team. Well done for them. So now we got the Mortar Punisher pushing through here. And of course the fort will fall, and they have to decide how they want to play it. With Sylvanas they have options. They don't have to go for the middle. They can just simply let the Punisher do its thing, move down to the bottom or the top lane, and try and take another fort out. But they're opening things up here. They sent the rest of the team in through. We have Sylvanas not with them though. Sylvanas is still sitting on the right side of the map and has just tapped the fountain. But we have, in addition to that, no bait over the wall. So Team Megumi is taking a long time to defeat that Punisher. They're losing a ton here. Finally, the jump gets blocked, but the wall is already gone. That's the follow-up. ETC is alive. Big ult from Orphea again. They're trying to get kills here. Sylvanas is with them. Cassia is low, but makes it somehow, and Leoric dies. Leoric is gone, so they're defending. They're defending the key, but they got a kill. What about ETC, though? ETC, even the Punisher wants a piece of the action as he follows after him. Zul with his ult is trying to take Sylvanas out. Slice and dice with that scythe, but he falls. And that battle is not over. Team Gachi looking for that game 3. Yeah, there's still forts at the bottom and top that are standing, but particularly the top fort could be rotated towards after they get that keep, assuming that they're making a play for it, because they have another minion wave coming in. And Sylvanas certainly looks like she wants to have some more aggression here. They go for Tyrael, and the explosion is not quite going to take the keep down. So the defense was strong. Team Megumi with the defense here. Yeah, well done. I feel like I'm always a little bit torn in a situation like that. On the one hand, you want to say, hey, if you would have moved in and just done a little bit more damage, you would have gotten the keep. That would have been worth it. But then again, you don't know how many heroes they would have lost in the approach if they could have gone out with everybody. Or if, for example, Sylvanas still had the time to jump in, jump out, get a few shots connected, take it apart. Yeah. Now, as is, we have level 20 for Team Gachi, so they have their Storm Talents. Half a level of a lead on that. Structurally, I suppose technically they're not really ahead. As long as they don't take that keep. As long as it has hit points, the effect on the map itself is essentially the same when it comes to catapult spawns. Angel of Justice, and we also got the Flamethrower. A lot of range increase now coming in for the two teams. And when we're talking about Team Megumi, they have their own level 20. So they have at least survived for now. They have been struggling in some of the latter fights, and it was more so Team Gachi's game. But there's still a chance for them to turn it around on another objective and then win the series. and lock a few more points in for themselves. So Balor still moving through. More damage done already as we're speaking. And with now Gamer Boy starting to slowly move towards the top. We have him taking care of the mercenary camp that is moving in. But the team is mostly staying together as 5 right now anyways. They're splitting the occasional hero up, but that's about it. When it comes to the build, by the way, we have the Fission Bomb here too. Fission Bomb into Ignite. So it's all about the radius and the AoE that we're talking. Blue team wants that keep at the bottom of the map. And the red team has now started to react with a quick hearth back. So they didn't get caught with their pants down completely here. 666. You naughty, naughty girl, Ophia. 66.6 thousand damage now for her. And they take the camp away. But here comes the Shrine. So we're talking Shrine once again. And, well, this is also going to be a big one. Frozen Punisher. Very important one for the blue team. If they can grab this, they will get the keep at the bot lane. Unless they get somehow all wiped during the process of grabbing the Punisher. But, yeah, that will be an important fight. Especially since if we are on eye level with their ults. And Tyrael is taking lots of damage. And triggering an early life binder from Alexstrasza. Very, very early ult from her. Now Sylvanas, also a bit of trouble. Angel of Justice comes in. Once again, the ult from Orphea, big one. Ancestral is out. Oh my god, they went for everything. ETC still has the mosh up and uses it as Leo dies, and they get a follow-up kill, don't they? Yes, Tyrael is gone too. That's huge, but the explosion and the living bomb drop Zul. A 2-for-1 trade with Sylvanas going in deep, trying to get kills, but jumping straight into the range of Cassia, who definitely wasn't kind to her. So she gets a lot of damage out as well and was nearly able to kill her here. So now that we have Valla and Gamer Boy starting to come back in, they hope for quick kills, haven't gotten any. 22 to 25 stacks on the objective. Sylvanas, and that's the big kill right there. Sylvanas goes down. That was huge. She's one of the major damage dealers in these fights. Kelthas, of course, with the continuous AoE and the poke and the living bombs, he has the bigger numbers. But when it comes to just finishing heroes off, Sylvanas has done a great job throughout the game. So now that the Frozen Punisher is claimed, and we already have the catapults at the bot lane, dishing out some extra damage on the keep, this is starting to become tricky. This is actually getting really tricky now, because we're not only talking about the keep anymore. We're talking potentially about a game being decided. And this would be a 2-0 victory if they can. Silenced and attacked and killed. Orphea is gone. Great move by Team Gachi. That was a big one. That was very, very cool from them. Helps them with the defense. Zul isn't here yet either. So this is pretty big. Sylvanas is down for another 11 seconds. But this is very difficult now for Team Megumi to play through. They're getting some good damage in, but do they get kills? The shield is massive for Kelthas, and he gets also Lifeliner from Alexstrasza, but the attack continues. It's a 5-man defense now, and Zul isn't here yet. Angel of Justice, this time on Rhaegar, and they're slowing him down already. There's the kill, mace to the face, and Rhaegar is done for. 19, 20 minutes into the game, and things are still alright for Team Gachi. They are ahead in kills, they lost their keep, but they've done okay on the defense here. 80 stacks for Kelthas. That's a pretty decent shield. And a pretty good mana pool as well. We have Tyrael on 58 now. And I suppose in the middle, this time at least, there's no saving this keep anymore. Yeah, not happening. So, shots fired and goodbye. Constant catapults are now in the mid lane for them. Same is happening at the bottom of the map. As long as they have that fort standing, and, well, as I said before, with Sylvanas, you can always rotate onto the lane and say, you know what, we've had enough of this. Let's start and commit a bit. It's also the consistent globes that we're getting. I mean, when you're looking at Tyrael, for example, so now you have 59% of an increased heal amount here, compared to what you normally would get with this. And, yeah, Alexstrasza, she is going to just keep that up. 60%, we have also the 82 stacks for Kelthas. So as the game... The talents themselves are not really that insane, right? But they are still really nice little buffs that you get and that can make the difference here. So this is still pretty impressive. It's not quite Stitches hungry for more level, where you get, of course, as the game progresses, an absolutely insane amount of HP. With 83 stacks on Stitches level 1, you would have now an enormous amount of extra hit points. I mean, 4,000, I believe. So, yeah. But, well, it's still a question of who wins the next team fight and the next objective. We're talking mid lane this time. Would be a good way to defend the mid lane if they could take some of the forts out, at least for Team Megumi. Talking about taking forts out, if you eliminate this, that's another fountain gone and more pressure at the top. And here come those living bombs again. They need to spread. They need to spread heavily. Because that level 13 talent for Kael'thas is mega annoying. It's just bomb after bomb after bomb. So Kael'thas is dropping them. It's the main reason why he's able to get such a huge amount of damage in. Because there's just all these add-on effects afterwards. Especially when you're fighting over a very small area. Like the shrines. So this is working perfectly for Gamerboy. In his mage performance, we've seen his KDZ play. With Kel'Thuzad, he's been absolutely dominant. But here comes Judgment. Phoenix is out. The Ancestral used. ETC with a slide. The heal and the Mosh. The Mosh from ETC. Super solid. And Life Binder kicks in too late. It's just a second too late. Huge problem for them right now. And there's a few more things on the map that we have to also be aware of. Triple catapult moving towards the core. And from the middle, we have a similar situation unfolding on the blue team side, which is what Zul will likely take care of. But we are 23 minutes into this game. So now catapults, they hit. And they hit hard. Not hard enough to break through the shield with Gamerboy trying to defend. But they have been forced back. And there is an objective to be had, which is where Team Megumi is now focusing their time on. And they should be able to probably get the entire thing. I mean, again, Sylvanas is not back for 20 seconds. So, unless they are getting a cheeky kill somewhere here, I don't think that Team Gachi is willing to make a play for that. I don't think they're going to be just moving in and try and take the fight here. So, yeah, 12 to 12 on the kill count. Down at the bottom of the map, we got Leo now pushing this one out as well. Top side, this is where Itrax is making the move through the lane and attempts to take another fort out. It's actually kind of funny if you think about it. We are so late in the game, and now 24 minutes in. Look how many structures have been destroyed. One lane each. One lane each is basically what was done. The other forts are still standing. So there isn't a lot of structural damage that has been delivered throughout the game. So both the red and the blue team would love to take some of these additional forts out, specifically at the top lane, where both of them are insanely low. But Team Megumi, they have that next Punisher now. 24 minutes into the game. So your fort is gone. At this point, the fort will be eliminated. The only question that's late into the game is how much more will you lose? But taking the fort out is already going to help them a little bit to secure that mid lane, because they will have some catapults spawning too. And I honestly think they might be able to get more here. Arcane Punisher gets baited over. They break through the wall. Good defense from Team Gachi on this. But the keep will still take some damage. Probably not too much. They're defending well. There's at least delivering some problems. Yeah, nice jump and a double stun actually through the Punisher, but the follow-up wasn't there. 97 stacks now for Kael'thas. It is kind of wild. It's honestly a little bit crazy. Alexstrasza this late in the game is just incredible. So, yeah, there it is. You get your shield. So, that will be 1500 max mana for Kael'thas. And then obviously you also get that shield right there. That's a massive, massive shield for them. So, yeah, not too bad. I mean, we've been talking a little bit about it. Might as well show it. So, yeah, Kael'thas currently 2100 mana. That's not too shabby. Let's compare it to Ophia. Ophia has 720. GG, well played right there. So, Kael'thas with an absolutely insane mana pool and shield that he's getting from all of this. Totally bonkers. But, the same, I mean, not the same, but we have all, it's the same is true for Tyrell in the sense that he has also a very high amount of globes, is what I was trying for. So he has 74. So very much a beneficiary from all of those circles that we're getting here, from all of those health globes that are dropping. And it is going to increase his sustainability by quite a bit. Now, this late in the game, this is more than welcome. Is it going to make the difference? We don't know. But we are 26 minutes into the game, and this is a pretty long Infernal Shrines game here. The next objective spawns at the bottom of the map, but we've been at this for a while now. 12 kills to 12, 24. Once again, the engage. Judgment into the backline. Tyrael needs to be very careful. Gets chomped, and Alexstrasza, too late. Too late with the save. So Tyrael is gone, and that absolutely backfired for them. That completely backfired for Team Gachi. They were the ones trying to engage, and now they lost their front line. They lose the fort at the top as a result, and this is more and more pressure by Team Megumi. To be fair, the topside fort of the blue team has also been destroyed, so they both now lost structures on that lane. But I would highly recommend to check the PayPal account of Tyrael, because there might be some bribery going on. Whatever the call was there, it certainly backfired very, very quickly. Now, with that one kill, they can get a lot of headway. If they can get another kill now, that would be the dream, and they do. It's only Leo. He will be back faster, but it doesn't change the fact that there is now a lot of momentum going on here. So that little snowball that we saw could turn into an avalanche. There's catapults again on the core, 3 of them. And as I said before, this late in the game, catapults hit like trucks. And let's not forget, we're nearly closing in on the 28 minutes. So the shrine is active and Leo is still gone. He's currently acting as an observer ward as he moves down here. But yeah, they're slowly starting to take the minions out, take the lead on those. And let's see. Next little play from the blue team. 15 stacks, catapults pushing through the middle. Still catapults also coming in at the bottom of the map, so this is really where the lane presence and all the lane pressure that you put through earlier is going to make a difference. If a team will have to move heroes back to defend their core, the opponent could take advantage of it. And there's still a fountain up, so they're all pre-tapping the fountain as they're starting to engage. Catapults at the bot lane now moving in again. There's a couple of catapults also coming through the middle, but I think the minion wave is going to push those back by default. And over here, that Poison Nova that we got from Zul is absolutely crushing them right now. Zul has 61,000 damage. Leo is dead again. Orphea is 124,000. Kel'Thas at 137,000 damage. Catapult still on the core. The shield slowly being removed. The Punisher is moving in. And with the shield basically gone and the core taking damage, that Punisher should be where Team Megumi ends the game. And boy, do these things hit hard. I mean, damn, it's down to 76% already. So, yep, Punisher baited into the middle, but Team Megumi is moving in for it and they claim the victory. 2-0, another W in the best of 3s of the group stage of the Sisters Call Cup for the blue team. Nicely done, GG, and well played.